Well, we're all in this together, and of course, many people are finding themselves in a position where they probably should be somewhere else in the world at this time. And actor John Rhys-Davies is with us, who is a resident of the Isle of Man for some of the year. But you should be out and about making films, I guess, John, at this time, right?
Well, at the start of this year, I had 5 movies to make and 2 drama documentaries and about 17 invitations to go and do fan conventions around the world. As of now, I'm thinking, assume that there is no income for 18 months.
Wow, that's you're looking on this on the long version. I think a bit more positivity. You got a video out. You thought it might be till October, didn't you? I think in that.
Well, I think the truth of the matter is we're at such an early stage of this infestation that there isn't enough information on which to base any accurate promises.
I mentioned at the beginning you've got a YouTube video out, which is actually very calming. I think reading a lot of the people who are writing back to you, you've given your thoughts out there. And that was made in March, wasn't it? So that is some time ago by today's standards now.
Yes, depending on how old you think mankind is, but somewhere between 20 and 50,000 generations of human beings that we would recognize as Homo sapiens sapiens have lived on this earth. And for most of them, life was nasty, brutish, and mean. We have a very privileged life. There have always been plagues and pestilences. Perhaps 70,000 years ago, something universal and catastrophic happened that probably reduced the number of our Homo sapiens down to about, well, I've seen figures as high as 10,000 people, but some people think perhaps down to 1,000 humans. And we are all descended from those humans. This is not going to be anything like that. And we have a science and a technology that is racing to produce solutions to this. We will get through this. Our species has always got through it. And for the British people and for those with British origins and things like that, I can say this, we have come through far worse, and there will be better times ahead. And instead of bitching and moaning about how hard and how tough it is, just realize historically we're having it so easy you can't believe. There aren't bombs falling. There aren't fires going on everywhere. I saw a program last night on television about some archaeology and excavations on the Orkney Islands. And they'd found an ossuary. That's a place where they store bones. And when they were looking at the female skulls, the female bones there, over 50% of them had injuries that are really only compatible with being hit, beaten. Depressed skull fractures in 2 places and things like that. Life has been historically terrible for women and pretty nasty for men. We are not in that situation. But we should use this. We should use this moment just to try and have a reset on our lives. Just have a look at ourselves and think, well, I've got to hear what happens next. How can I be better? How can I be nicer? What can I do for my fellow man? And of course, that has a wonderful resonance when you put it, what can I do for my fellow man?
John, you're always a dream to talk to because you have so many things to make people think deeply about. Will you be making more YouTube videos like this, to get your point across and to people like to hear from you?
Oh, well, yes. Today, I thought I'd have some conversations with friends of mine and acquaintances just to see how they were coping and what their lives were. Just today, we did an interview with Aubrey Brooks, who is possibly most notorious for being condemned to death for the Seychelles coup. And he spent 9 months in solitary confinement. So comparing his experience now with his experience then, sort of, he can cope with this very easily.
Well,
the truth is,
to do a little bit of remote work yourself. I mean, besides those interviews, I mean, you're obviously you can't act, but you do voiceovers and those sort of things. You're keeping busy in that sense, are you?
Very much so, and I'm trying to learn new things. The important thing when you get old, and I suppose, damn it, look, the other day I called up my local vicar down here in Church Michael and said two things. One, if I die, can I be buried in the churchyard? And she said, yes, you can, because you're a resident of the parish, so you've got automatic rights to that. I thought that was nice to know I've got a place to go to before it falls into the sea in 100 years' time. But secondly, I said, now, I've left my number in the village shop. If anybody needs anything, and all that, please call me, use me, and I'll go and deliver things. And then very slowly it dawned on me that they're regarding me as the people to be rescued, not as the rescuer. And that's very humiliating.
John, a delight to talk to you. Keep well, keep safe, and let's talk again, because I think we might be around, as you say, for a little bit longer than we initially thought. Let's hope, though, we can meet up in person again. Always good to talk with you.
Good to talk to you. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.